Okay. Can I have some flour so when I do that, it just kind of goes, it seems like a thing.
No.
All right, fine. Well, welcome to the first and so far only episode of Donkey Kongs. Okay, we don't have a name for the show, but if you click somewhere when this goes on, wherever it is, I'm sure there's a place you can comment and give us a suggestion, and this could become a real thing. Anyways, before we start, I am not really the cook. I'm sort of the cook. I'm doing the work. But the real star of the show is behind the camera. That's my hetero life partner, Mary. And we're going to do this. So Mary, where do we start? We're doing Gołombek. Now, Gołombek is basically, you could call it cabbage rolls, Polish, but they're found in other cultures. You said you were at some party it was Scandinavian descent?
Swedish. They're
Swedish.
Gołombek.
Gołombek, yes. And then one time we had people over who were originally from Hong Kong, and they were like, oh, spring rolls! So this is a universal thing, but this is the Polish version of course. I didn't grow up with this.
Should move the cat.
Why? Where's the cat? I think it's okay. Okay, I'll move the cat. So, I grew up in a traditional suburban Polish household, which meant we ate Italian food. I didn't really appreciate Polish food at all until I met my wife. And I had Gołombek and loved it. But the best Gołombek in the world, to be honest, was her dear mother's. Because she did this magical thing interjecting rice into it. So we're going to do it a little closer to that.
There's always rice in Gołombek.
Well, are you sure?
Yes.
Then what was different about your mom's?
She used minute rice.
Minute rice. Oh, okay. So
we don't have minute rice.
We don't have minute rice, so somehow we'll survive. We'll go on. Okay. So the first thing we have to do is, this is a longer process because there's a lot of things. It takes a lot of time, but we're going to at least start right now. So we're going to start with the rice cooker. If I remember how to use this, because I really haven't used it much since like college. There's a certain amount of water and a certain amount of rice that goes in. I want to say it's... Where's the little cup? Usually there's like a thing that comes with this that's exactly the right size.
It's long gone. We had to improvise.
Okay, so I should just use one of these?
Yeah, but you have to measure your water first, and you're using brown rice, which cooks differently than white rice.
Well, how am I supposed to know all this?
You would look on the side of the rice cooker where your loving wife gave you a guide.
What? What are you talking about?
It's there.
Caution to reduce electric shock.
Has many surfaces. Sometimes you gotta move stuff to find... Aha! Look at that.
Okay, now I need my glasses. Where are my glasses? It's in microfiche, Mare. Where's the glasses? I think they're in here. Hold on. Alright. It's still too small. Seriously, Mare? You gotta be for white rice. Yeah. Brown rice. But there's also for white... Pamperillo or something? What is that?
Read about brown rice.
Okay, brown rice.
That's what we have.
I'm focusing on that. I love rice. Let's make a lot of it.
No, you're going to make the 4 measure. That gives us enough for Gołombek and enough for another dish.
4?
Yeah.
4 scoops?
Yep.
4 scoops. But how do I know what a scoop is? They don't have the scoop.
You're going to use the half a cup scoop that I put out for you. You're going to use a rounded one of those. Slightly rounded. It works. Trust me.
Half-dented cup. Okay, here we go.
Add the water first.
Are you sure?
Yes, because otherwise the rice is going to displace. Yay! Yes.
But this is 4 cups, and this is a half a cup.
Because you're using scoops. They call the scoop a cup, not a cup.
Even though it's a half a cup.
Just follow the directions on the rice cooker. Fill it with water to
the
4 line.
Okay, all right. We can do this. Hot water, does it matter?
Cold.
All right. See on our gas bill. All right. I can't really keep it even because there's stuff, but that's okay. I can keep it relatively level.
We didn't think this cunning plan through. I didn't wash the dishes.
That's all right. This is a real kitchen, folks. This isn't one of those little sets or something with the fake plants outside. Actually, there's no plants outside. Whatever. Okay, so this is up to the 4 line. Let me double check. This won't stop moving. 4. It's pretty much graduated cylinder 4. Okay, so 4 heaping cups of this.
Not heaping,
cup.
Slightly rounded.
Rounded. Well, what's the difference between rounding and heaping?
You'll know when you see it.
All right. This is why cooking is an art, not a science. Sorry, Alton Brown. All right. It's kind of...
You could add more to that.
Like with my fingers? How come this isn't right there?
You could pour it into the cup over the vessel.
Pour it into... Oh, well, I don't want to get it all over.
If a little extra falls in, the world's not going to end. Just so that it's slightly rounded.
Like that.
There you go.
Boom! There's 1. Whoa. 2. 3. 4. All right. Now, saving the suspense, Mary. What does it say the rest of it? What do I do with this now?
You put the thing inside.
I just plug it in and go?
Put the lid on.
Boom. I put the lid.
You have to plug it in and turn it around so we can see the little cooking light.
Oh, yes. There it is. But then, wait, hold it. There we go.
Now see how it's orange? You have to flip the switch so it's red. Now it's cooking.
And then when it's done, it'll automatically just go on warm.
Correct. So we're done.
I can do this.
We're done for now.
I probably have done this, but I've also watched cooking shows and never remembered a damn thing from any of them. So
Time must elapse.
Okay, time elapsing. Bubbles and froth and stuff. Is this where I should be talking about starch and shit, or how does this work?
I don't do the starch science.
Okay, but it's frothy and bubbly.
It's doing its thing.
So how long do you think we gotta go? What does that mean?
It means we have a while to go yet.
Okay. All right. Cut. Cut. Okay, the boss says that I need a cup of rice. And we made a lot more. Which means that I'm going to use a cup of rice, and I'm going to hit the rest of that when no one else is looking.
No, because we need it for another recipe.
Sure. Okay, so, a cup. Now, is this one of those heaping cups, or how do we even it?
A cup-ish. You need a cup of rice for every pound of meat that we have.
Okay, so this is...
No, I take that back. We need a half a cup of rice for every pound of meat we have, and I've got 2 pounds. So we need 1 cup.
Because math.
Because math.
Okay, so, is this too much?
That's fine. Leave it just like that.
All right, okay.
And it needs to cool.
Okay.
So you need to put it in...
Bowl on it? No,
okay. You're going to put it in the bowl that we're going to mix our...
No, this one.
That one.
Right here.
Yes.
Because just like in real life, it's magically where you need it at all times, just because I need it. Just like on TV. Yeah. Okay, so that's just... I don't do anything special with it, just let it sit there?
It has to cool.
It has to cool.
Do you know why it has to cool?
I have no idea.
It's because our meat is cold in the refrigerator, and we don't want to mix ice-cold meat with hot rice. That's the bacterial danger zone.
It'll activate that.
Yes, so this needs to be cold, and we need to mix our cold meat.
But we're going to be cooking it anyways.
Doesn't matter. By the time it sits there, it could be bad. So
okay,
this needs to cool.
All right. Better safe than sorry. Okay, so this is here.
Cool. Yes.
Do I got to go over there? What are we doing next?
Just push it out of the way and put the rest of the rice into our other container.
Yes, and then I'll scrape the inside out, and I can't explain what's going to happen to it after that.
If you must.
I must, because that's the best part. That's actually considered like a prize, supposedly in families in the East, that they let the favorite child go and scrape out the last little bunches on the sides there, especially if it gets a little crispy.
We'll talk about that off camera.
Okay. I knew him, Horatio. Okay, so I'm supposed to stab this somehow, right? There's some kind of a pouring out, or
kind of. You need to get the leaves off in order to make cabbage rolls. But if you look, these outer leaves are quit running.
It's rolling.
Put it down.
So I take off the outer leaves.
You do, but now you're going to have to wash your board because you took all the nasty leaf spooge and rolled it on your nice clean board.
Where do I put this in the meantime?
Just put it on the table.
Okay, all right. Leave it wet. Take 2.
Take 2. There we go. So now take your cabbage and don't roll it around on the board. And peel off those outer nasty leaves.
So I can put it down like this. No.
Just put it on the table.
Well, all right.
It's kind of like peeling an onion. It comes off in layers.
I don't peel onions.
Well, you will eventually. hurt any of your leaves. They're very important.
Oh, yes, that's right, because that's what we're using. I think I get... What about this spot?
Peel that leaf off, too. We want to get rid of all that stuff.
Okay, so that's the next outer spot.
Yeah. And probably by the time...
Is there an easier way to do this?
Try to find the outer edge. There you go.
Well, this is a whole nother leaf.
It is.
It's on top of the one that I need to get rid of.
That's okay.
And
herein, as you see how difficult it is to get these leaves off.
Yeah?
This is why people think making cabbage rolls is so difficult.
It's like trying to peel an egg.
It kind of is like peeling an egg. But once you get that last leaf off, then we'll be able to make the magic happen in order to get the good leaves that we're going to roll off.
Okay, this is way too exciting for television.
Not really. It's kind of food porn. No, you don't.
I can't get to that piece. So this is why people don't make Gołombek.
This is why people don't make Gołombek. And this is why they are a labor of love. Think of this. Every time you've ever had Gołombek,
Do we compost this? What do we do with all this?
Some of it we're going to use whatever doesn't have spooge on it. Some is going to get composted.
Okay, so it's going to go into your bag of flavor?
Yes, it can go into my bag of flavor.
Okay, so I got to get rid of this one too because they already started it. It has stuff on it.
Do I need to come over there and intervene?
Well, I'm gonna need an intervention of some kind at this point.
Just make sure you're not wrecking a good leaf.
I know, but this is the one that they're all contiguous. You know what? I gotta get rid of this one because this one that was the one I was trying to get to in the first place, I think. Hey! If I get it near the stem first, then it. I mean, you know what? It probably would have been easier if I would have cut off this bottom first.
Well, we have to cut off the bottom anyway, but
Right.
we want to get rid of the yucky stuff first.
Yeah, but the yucky stuff is attached to the bottom really thickly.
Don't argue with the
Okay,
director.
so is this okay or not?
That's good.
Okay.
So now we want to get rid of the bottom, but you have to go in like you're taking the lid off of a pumpkin. You got to go deep
Yes, that's
into
where I go
cabbage.
stabos.
You go stabos.
So I can put it on here now.
Yes.
And is there...
Just push that out of the way, or put it.
It just magically disappears in other shows.
It does.
I mean, it's like a garbage can under there or something?
Yeah, there's a house elf around.
Okay.
Okay. Try not to hurt yourself. I don't want you to be maimed.
No, I'm good. I know how to use a knife. I'm going to paste it away from my fingers. There's an idea. Like this, about that distance?
About that distance. You may find out once you get in there that you've got to go out a little farther. And we'll probably stab at it in the kettle some too to chip some stuff away to free the leaves.
Okay.
Progress has been made.
This is the more manly side of cooking. Maybe.
I like cabbage. It's squeaky.
It is kind of squeaky. Okay, so now...
You probably have to go deeper in to get all the way in to pop it out. Don't break
Almost.
my knife.
Yeah, I know. It's kind of a thin knife here. I don't want to...
That's one of my favorite little knives.
All right, hold on.
Careful, don't force it too much. You're going to hurt yourself. This is not proper.
What is this made out of?
Cabbages are tough.
This is why people don't eat Gołombek.
No, this is why they're good storage vegetables, because they last and they're hardy.
Well, it is worth it, though, because a good Gołombek is a thing of joy.
I'm getting there. I see it coming loose. See it coming loose.
So have you done it with brown rice before?
Yes.
Aha! But there's still this thing in the middle. So am I still getting rid of that?
Yes, you want to try to get rid of that big thing, yes. Now, sometimes rather than digging it at an angle, if you kind of cross hatch it some inside, you can get more out.
What? Is this good?
Kind of like tic-tac-toe the center and then wedge out little bits.
And then I get to win?
We're not going to use those little brainy parts anyway. And for anybody watching at home, these are not good knife skills. It's just what's required.
Oh! Oh, we can clean that up later.
Yes, we can.
This is probably why you don't let me do this by myself.
Only focus on the middle, the very middle bit. Don't go to the outer part of the hole you're excavating.
I'm just kind of like turning into like a little floret of sorts.
Well, that's another show.
So how much of the core am I getting out?
As much as you can. Like maybe another inch deep from where you are. I'm hoping from a cabbage this size that we would get about 18 good rolls. If we get more than that, we're very fortunate. If we get less than that, the world won't end.
How many rolls?
18.
18? Okay.
You never know. Gołąbkis are not an exact science.
Okay, well.
Okay, that's good.
Is that okay?
That's lovely.
It looks scary down there.
Hang on. Hold it. Let's get a good look in there. Excellent. Okay, now leave that on your board. And now
I feel like I should still take out some of the other big pieces.
we can work on that later.
Okay, all right. Okay. I'm okay.
Now what we need to do is we need to fill the big kettle.
Oh, in there? Where is it? Where's the kettle?
On the stove.
Oh yes, that's right. We already put. Okay. Fill it with water.
Yes.
How high? Just like
we want the cabbage to just barely float.
But how do I know how high the cabbage will be before we make it? What?
There's no.
So just fill. We add more water to it later.
I'd probably say try filling it halfway.
Halfway,
and then we'll discuss.
That's really going to be a heavy kettle. That's a big, huge. Okay, fine.
You're a big, strong man.
Oh, my chiropractor doesn't think so. This right here.
That right there.
By the way, I put that on from Home Depot, huh? Huh? Because my house. All right. So. Okay, cool, hot, doesn't matter?
Cool. Always cook with cold, fresh water.
Really?
Yes.
Well, supposedly there's a thing where it does, where water freezes faster when it's warm. Does it get colder?
I think that's been disproven.
Okay, all right, whatever. No, that actually is a thing. I saw a TED Talk or something
Google
about
that
it.
later.
All right.
We gotta keep focused.
Okay. How come it always goes faster on TV? Everything seems to.
Clever editing.
We'll see what we can do. It's almost halfway.
Almost halfway.
A little more?
A little more. That looks good.
Okay.
If we need to add more, we'll
Keep
add
it close
more.
to my center.
And let's turn that stove on rip-roaring high because we want it to boil sometime today.
Boom. High it is.
Okay, put the lid on. It'll boil faster with the lid on.
Because pressure.
And then what we need to do is we need to have a place to put our leaves. So we need to set up a leaf collection station right there. So we need a sheet pan, a dish towel,
okay,
and a rack.
I know where those things are.
I'm amazed.
Well, that's because you told me just before we...
You're not supposed to give that. You're blocking the view. Don't show the whole cupboard. Only show the side you need. I can't see anything except your back. This is not good television.
It's okay, because it's kind of tight in here, and as tight as something that would be tight.
And that's
Hold on. Try not to have everything come out with me.
I know.
Okay, sheet pan?
Sheet pan.
All right.
Dish towel.
Dish towel. I really like the one with the fleur de lis, which is French for flour to something. Okay. And what is something else?
Put the dish towel on the sheet pan.
But there was a third item.
The rack.
The rack. Oh yeah, the rack. Okay. All right. Is this good?
That's good.
There's a rack thing, like a...
And it fits exactly in the sheet pan. Imagine that.
Coincidence? I think not. All right.
Okay. So now we're ready. We just have to wait for our water to boil.
All right.
And then we'll play with leaves.
And now we lift it with the tiny hat.
Don't pick on the tiny hats.
Oh. Now, is this what's called a rolling boil, man?
This is, yes, a rolling boil.
Because it's rolling instead of just. What's
Yes,
the other kind just
a
below
simmer.
this? A simmer. A simmer is when there's tiny bubbles.
Right.
And this is like undulating.
Right.
Okay, I can do that. I can do it.
Now,
so now.
we have to be very careful so that you don't burn yourself,
I'm
and
not good at that.
we don't need to cook the cabbage at a rolling boil, but we need to start it at a rolling boil, because when you put the cold cabbage in the hot water,
it'll cool
it's
it down
going to cool
and
it
take away
down.
the boil. Yes, yes.
Okay.
I understand that.
Now,
Okay, so
and now for our death-defying act, we need to get the cabbage off of the board and into the boiling water without anybody maiming themselves. I have my doubts about this going well. I have my doubts, but we have a successful...
I wish they were longer. Wait, whoa, there it
Yay!
is. There it is. And it doesn't
And that's-
cover it all the way. Is that okay?
That's right. We want
So
it
just
to
like that.
float. And we want that little...
We can spin it
hole
around
open.
because it's fun.
Right. Now stop spinning it around
Okay.
and take your fork and kind of tilt the core into the water.
Doesn't want
You
to.
can use your spoon to help.
Like, okay,
Yep, and flip it over.
okay, all right.
Yeah, that's the toughest part of the cabbage.
so
we
that
want
needs to be
where
there
the
longer.
heat is.
Okay, got it.
And it's not going to take long. It's only going to be a couple of minutes, and then the magic is going to happen. So
Does the lid go back on?
no, the lid goes where it's not there.
It goes not there.
It can go here.
Oh, okay.
Look at that.
All right.
Okay, now we're almost ready. See that
Already?
little bit of time? Flip
What?
that cabbage over. Using
Flip
your
it.
spoon and your...
Ah.
Okay.
Wait. Do we turn the fan on? I don't want the alarm to go off.
That won't go
Does
on
it matter?
for steam.
No, just for steam.
Only
okay.
when you fry.
All right.
Now, take your fork, and you want to kind of grab and pull at one of those big, thick ribs. Try to push it away from the cabbage with your fork. Does it want to come loose?
A little bit. Yes, it does. It does.
Okay.
It does.
Now we need tongs.
They're all kind of okay.
We need tongs.
Tongs. Okay, I think I know where they are. Hold on. They're in one of
Cold,
these.
cold, cold, freezing.
Is it over in the?
Uh-huh.
Oh. Just. You think I'd have this ready ahead of time?
That's why they call it mise en place.
Wait. Something that's like scissors. I
Yes.
think these are tongs.
There they are. Da, 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 da. This is why
This
I
didn't
don't.
happen.
This is why I don't let you in the kitchen.
Okay, it's good enough. Now. Oh, that's right. Now I've seen you do this. You kind of peel them and put them on.
Yeah, there you
and
go.
then these I just don't need anymore.
You
right?
need to manipulate the cabbage in the water.
Oh, okay,
So don't get
so-
rid of them.
But I need the tongue and the fork.
Right.
Will that work? Will that do
Yep,
good?
yep.
This is probably the outermost one here.
You gotta figure it out. You gotta try them all until you get one that just comes loose. Don't want to tear it. If it doesn't want to come off all by itself, let it sit a little longer.
It's kind of coming off.
There it is. There
I
it
think
is.
did. Boom! Okay.
Okay, now be careful. That one tore a little bit. Flip it back over so that the hard part is deep in the water.
Okay.
And then we'll play with it a little more.
Oh, so in between these turns we can soak
Yes.
it more.
Yep. Might be easier to do it with your spoon. Spoon is
Yeah.
longer.
All right. Yes. Hey!
There you go.
My dad always said, "Okay, cabbage, you got the head." All right. I think he was talking about me. I'm not sure what that means.
Okay.
All right. So we stare at it.
Just for a couple seconds. This goes faster than you think. Now you can roll it over and try to peel off another leaf.
Okay. Okay.
But you always want to grab it by that thick stem if possible.
I'm thinking this one here. What do you think?
Give it a try. Be gentle with it. You don't want them to rip.
Oh, I
Try
feel-
a different one.
Okay, it's presenting.
Don't go there.
I'm not sure that's the right term for that.
Okay, you got another leaf.
Woo!
Now, a lot of times when you do this, you want to shock them in an ice bath so that they stop cooking. We want these kind of soft, so even as they come out of the water, we're
Because
just
we
gonna
gotta roll 'em.
Because we got to roll them.
Yeah. No, that's too tough. This one might come off though. No, it still feels tough to me.
Then roll it over.
Okay. Better safe than sorry on that?
Yep.
I'll get the...
There we go.
Ouch. Get some hot water on me. Go figure.
Roll it gently. Okay, and we'll take one off, and then through the one more off, and then through the magic of television, we'll come back when you've removed all the leaves.
All right. Okay.
Okay, flip it over once more. Try to get one more leaf off, just to show that.
Hey!
Look at that.
Boom! Ooh.
Okay.
Okay. Okay, I think I figured out the secret. You kind of hinted at it. See where the top leaf is and which direction it goes. And then I'm not even going to turn it all the way over. I'm just going to find where the top leaf goes this way. So I go there, and I can find the edge. It's actually here. See, look at the spine. See the spine? I can follow the spine to the edge, and once I get there, that's the one that'll come off. But I got to turn it back upside down because it's kind of getting stuck there. But see, that's where it is, right there. Now if I can get it over, I want to keep the spine so I don't break it, obviously. I tore a couple of them, but I didn't do too bad, did I, Mary?
No, you're doing good.
Okay. Here we go. I'm afraid it's going to fall on the floor. There's just not a lot of room here.
Okay, now you want to keep taking off all those nice leaves until you reach the brain.
My brain or the brain of the cabbage?
The cabbage brain. You'll know it when you see it. Okay, now you're getting stuck. You may have to get your little knife and stab at it a bit. Because it's still connected.
That's kind of right there? Just kind of...
Yep, we didn't get through all the way to the core. You might have to chip at the core in the hot water. Be careful you don't get your hands in the hot water.
And loading up the...
And then each layer that you take off needs to sit in the simmering water because it's cold.
Oh, that's why it's fighting me.
Yes, so you have to wait for it to get a little bit soft in the water before you try to get the next leaf off of the cabbage.
It's just been in the water so long. Oh, wait, hold on. Here's the next loose
each
one.
layer is like you're starting all over again.
All right, okay. But hey, there we go.
There we go. You might have to turn it over and use your knife.
Nope, I got it.
Came through.
Might have still cut that. Is that a little too thick?
Nope.
We'll have to cut that?
No, we'll talk about that later.
All right.
First, get your leaves off. So let it soak. Now, put that back.
What?
These inner leaves
Okay.
can be a little on the thick side, and you need them soft to roll them. So let that sit in the boiling water and get a little softer.
Really?
Otherwise, it's going to crack when we try. So shove it in. Shove it under water. Shove it under water.
I'll break it.
You won't break it. Yeah.
Okay.
So let that sit while you get the next one off.
Sploosh.
When you get the next
Okay,
one
here we go.
off, let that one sit while you take the other one out. Let these inner hard ones,
I might have to cut that one. Hold on.
let them get a little softer. It's all about feel. And if they're too crunchy, they'll crack when you roll them.
Stabos.
Yep, that's kind of what you do. Just stab at the core and get your leaf off.
I should probably cut that one. So you were saying that only a couple more because of the size of the leaves.
Right.
But what's this mysterious brain, and am I coming close to it? How do I know?
Depends on the cabbage. A lot of times the way they grow, they'll just be this kind of convoluted. The leaves are really wrinkled in among themselves, and you wouldn't be able to roll it up, and it looks like a brain. So we call it
So
the
I'm
brain.
not really there yet, but if
Yeah.
I went farther, I would be.
Yeah, you're getting close. These leaves are getting to be small.
But this
and
is like,
that's
so you
getting
can
to
see
be
my
too
hand
small.
size wise. Okay.
That's getting to be too small. Take off one more, and then we'll leave what's in there as our brain.
Okay.
And we'll sort the
Oh,
leaves.
there you go. I
We
got
will-
a good handle on it here.
We will sort. See how they're. When you're done,
Ooh,
roll that
nice.
over so we can see it, and I'll show you why it's a brain.
We'll first get this out. Leave
Yeah.
it in there to make it
Yeah,
softer.
so it gets softer.
Okay, so
So roll over what's left of our little inner cabbage. And you see how the leaves are kind of starting to suck in and dimple on each other?
no,
Well, they
I
are.
don't understand what you mean.
It looks like a brain.
So it looks less like.
It looks less like a cabbage and more like a brain.
I'll just
and we're-
take your word for that.
And we're going to use that brain to make sweet and sour cabbage for another meal.
Oh joy!
Oh joy, it's your favorite.
Caveat, I don't like cabbage, but I do like gołąbki. I can't explain it. It's just a mystery. All right.
Okay, so
okay,
here
so
are...
now, so leave that, just let it sit in there?
Let that sit in
So
there.
turn off
but
the heat?
Turn off the heat and let that sit.
Okay. There we
And
go.
then here are all of our nice cabbage leaves. They are rocket hot. And while they cool,
Ooh, yeah.
we're going to mix the filling.
All right.
Okay. So you're ready for the smushy part?
Okay, let's do this.
Alrighty. Now, you want to add your seasonings to the bowl before anything else.
Dry stuff.
Well, your seasonings, even if they were wet, you would add them now.
okay.
Because you're going to be touching meat, which is laden with bacteria, and you're going to be touching eggs, which can have salmonella.
But they always do that afterwards in the shows. They put the spices on at the end.
They wash their hands.
All right.
My hands are clean. I'm going to start with my spices.
So what do I need?
All I need is a little, like...
A little. Here, I'll use this side. Just
Mom? No. We're gonna measure for
Okay.
people. I would probably say half a
But
teaspoon.
you don't measure, though.
I don't measure.
Okay.
I just know. So for you, I would say probably a half a teaspoon of garlic powder per pound. We've got about 2 pounds of meat, so it would
Half
be
tisp.
So we would use a tisp.
I actually have to do this.
You can open the big side.
Oh, that's...
Because, in case people didn't know, your shaker cheese lid fits a mason jar, which is awesome for spices.
And especially as we use mason jars for everything.
Because mason jars
Okay, so
are
how many of
the
these? Just a half, right?
bomb. A half per pound, and we have 2 pounds of meat.
Well, why don't I just use a whole one then?
I don't know. I tried to tell you to. You didn't listen.
All right. Well, here's half. It's going on the rice.
That's fine. It's
Okay.
all going to get mixed together.
That's what I thought. Just making sure.
That way you're not going to touch my jars with icky, goopy meat hands.
Almost the same as doing this.
Now, we're making this under quarantine. We can't leave the house because this little video is being made at the height of the COVID-19 pandemic.
Yeah.
So traditionally, my mom, who made the best gołąbki ever, would use the instant rice, minute rice, and she would pre-cook it. She would also only ever use ground beef. We can't get ground beef. We're stuck in the house. We're dealing with what we've got.
Oh, what are we using?
We are actually using some venison from a deer hunter friend of ours.
So it's like Hunter's gołąbki.
It's Hunter's gołąbki, but venison is very dry. It's got no fat in it. So since we belong to a local CSA that provides us with a pig every year, we're going to mix our venison with some ground pork because that's going to give us fat and that's going to give us flavor, and we're not going to get dried out gołąbki. So we're gonna do a combination here.
Yeah.
And in reality, if all you had was venison, they would be delicious. If all you had was pork,
So this
it would
was
be
your sister?
fine. Yes.
So Dave hunted
Yes.
this. Okay. And then thank you, Native Offerings Farm, and
Yes.
we
So
got
we
everything.
have our pig.
And the
then
eggs are from...
the eggs are also going to be
Okay.
an egg per pound. So if you're making a metric butt ton of gołąbki,
But we're
and
making 2 pounds.
we're making 2 pounds.
Okay, so how much of this do I put in, since that seems to be the next thing on the list?
That's also going to be a teaspoon, a half a teaspoon per pound.
So a whole teaspoon.
Yes. Now,
Tisp.
when Mom makes this, it's very low on spices. Just a little onion powder, a little garlic powder. I'm out of onion powder. I can't get onion powder because we're in the middle of a quarantine.
So what
So
do we
we are using
Like this?
dried. Yes,
Is that good?
yes. We're using dried minced onion. It's the next best thing.
Okay.
The world probably wouldn't end if you chopped up a real onion and
Which is
mixed
where?
it in.
Do we...
We did it. We're done.
What? Where's the onion? Oh, this
That's
is garlic.
dry- and minced onion.
Oh, this is minced onion. Okay.
Yes.
Oh, I never really thought about minced onion as a thing.
It is. It's dried
Okay.
minced onion.
Okay.
So, next thing that we're going to do is we're going to take our meats and we're going to add them to the rice bowl and the spices.
Okay.
So you can cut those open and dump them in.
Okay. Just dump it?
Just dump it.
Okay. And then when I get ready to mush it, I'm going to wash my hands one more
Yes,
time.
you may need to cut it open with the little knife that your mise en place maven provided.
Wait,
for
there's
you.
another... No, I just cut it with a
Okay.
knife.
Oh, I didn't know if it.
Oh,
had
yeah,
a
yeah.
fire
So
to
just
seal.
go... Whoop,
Yep.
and the juice doesn't
Yep.
matter?
That's
Okay.
fine.
All right, so this is...
That's trash. We'll get rid of that later. No, not yet. Just let it sit there.
Okay.
Now we want to open up our pork and do the same thing.
Yes.
That one you might have to cut with a knife.
I'm lazy. I'm just going to do that.
Don't do that on my table.
What?
Yeah.
I think I'd survive a knife attack if it was really, really slow. Okay.
Well, you could sharpen my knives for me one day.
There's services for that, Mayor.
Yeah, I'm married to one.
It's a topic for another time. Okay, so this is what I can squeeze this out. I can kind of...
Yes, you can. You can squeeze that out. Refrain from sound effects, please.
Oh, yeah, but there's something cathartic about this, Mayor. There we go. I feel fulfilled.
Okay. Now you can put that one bag inside the other,
Yeah,
since that's all contaminated meat juices and stuff.
Yep.
And now what you're going to do is you're going to crack the egg and put the egg in the little bowl and then dump it into the meat and stuff.
And that's so if I see any shells, I can take them out
Any
before.
shells, or if it happens to be a bad egg.
And I was always one of
Or
these
if there's a
on a
chicken
flat
in
surface guys with the...
Yes.
I used to be more digitally dexterous before my hand injury, but hey, I did that okay.
You did pretty good. I don't even do the one at a time.
Oh. Just dump?
Just dump.
That's right, because then if something is in here, you don't have to...
Then you don't have to waste another egg.
Especially if there's something wrong with the egg.
Now, before there was a quarantine on, the
can't
reason
do it.
I have white and brown eggs is I like to use them for rotational purposes. One week I'll buy white eggs, another week I'll get brown eggs. That way I know which eggs to use first.
But otherwise, they're basically the same.
They're basically the same. You can get delicious white eggs like from the Amish or brown eggs. The outdoor eggs are better. No, put those in the bag with the other.
Well, I was going to get in there.
There we go. We'll clean up all that stuff later.
All right.
Now, as long as you are already contaminated from touching meat...
Well, I want to wash my hands, too.
No, you don't.
I don't? Why not?
Because you already washed them, and now we're going to massage the meat.
Yeah, but now my hands are going into the actual food product.
Didn't you just wash your hands?
I did. I'm just being a clean freak, I guess. I don't know. What he says, maybe I want to scratch my face for 5 minutes. Let me wash my hands.
So now you're going to take your hand, and you're just going to gently smush it together. We want it homogeneous, but not too dense.
Okay, so don't squeeze it together. Just mix it.
Mix it. Don't
twist it and turn it.
Correct. Because we want to make sure that the rice is evenly distributed.
And obviously the egg, right.
And the spices and everything.
Too. This is very red, this meat.
Venison is very, very red. It was very active, and it's got lots of myoglobin. Because science.
Ooh, it's cold. It's cold. Ooh, my hand's freezing. I'm going to use my other hand for a second. I just have to wash them both very intensely.
It's okay. I'll turn the water on for you.
Oh, thank you. I appreciate that. So, they're never really persnickety about how much they mix stuff on shows. They kind of like half mix everything, and somehow magically the spices reach everything. They spread out like
You'll know it's done when it's done.
Cooking elves or fairies or something.
They probably mix more off camera because I don't know if we're going to film this whole thing.
Okay, I'm just
but
saying.
I can see the rice.
They'll be like, oh, look, here's a little bit of kosher salt, and then they go like this. Okay, it's mixed. Well, and I know they don't do it off camera.
Well, don't complain about it. Mix this the right way.
Right. I'm just saying, maybe it doesn't. Maybe they don't. You don't need to be so extreme. Maybe it's the slight variances in flavors and stuff that give it more.
You're thinking way too hard. Mix it
fine.
up.
All right, I'm
homogeneous.
Yep. Okay, now the rice is really starting to mix in with it pretty well now.
Yep.
I'm just trying not to squeeze it too much.
I can still see separate blobs of venison and pork, so we need to keep mixing.
That's okay.
No, we want homogeneous. Okay. Otherwise, one is going to be dried and one's going to be juicy. Mix them together.
It's all in the same pan, all kind of mixed.
Doesn't work that way.
How's that?
Keep going. Now, in a pinch, if you didn't have rice, I have made these with breadcrumbs.
Okay.
In a pinch, if you didn't have rice, I've made these with uncooked old-fashioned oats.
Really?
Yes.
I could have sworn you made them without rice before, like before we got married.
No, there's always some kind of grain or a starch in there
How are we
somewhere.
doing?
We're doing good. Keep mixing.
Oh.
Yeah, like scoop it from the bottom and put it on the top. Like turn the whole blob over. Yeah.
It's not a blob anymore. It's very broken up. It's starting to get... Wow, this is... Okay, what do you think?
I think it'll do.
You don't seem satisfied.
I would mix it a little more, but I can tell you're getting tired.
I'm not going to complain. It's all going to relatively the same area through the same path, so.
You pick up that little blob that you dropped.
This one?
No, over here on the table.
Oh, I
That
didn't.
one.
Tiny little blob.
Get it in there. We don't want to waste a blob of good stuff.
All right. Okay.
Okay, now you can wash your hands. Get as much meat off of them and into the bowl as you can. Wash your hands again, and then we're going to sort our leaves.
Okay.
Alrighty, so your leaves are cooled. And now we kind of want to sort them. We want to use the bigger, softer outer leaves first. So some of these. And then we're going to save the little
I should
ones
sit there.
for last. You're going to have a bad shadow.
Oh. All right. Okay. How about one of these?
Yeah, be careful.
Okay. What?
You tore it. That's why you have to gently sort them.
Okay.
Okay.
So what am I
So
doing?
turn the thick end toward you. Now, a lot of people will cut that rib out. I don't cut the rib out.
Yeah, I know.
I think it lets them have a little bit more structure as they bake.
Yeah.
So I leave the little rib
A little
on.
easier to cut, I think, afterwards, too. On a plate.
I leave it. I like the flavor and
Yeah.
I leave it in.
Okay.
So now we want a blob of meat filling.
Should I use
to
an
put
ice
in
cream
there.
scoop or something?
No.
Just my hands.
Just your hands.
How do I know how much?
Some. You have to
Like this.
Wait, put it down a minute. You have to mentally look at the leaves that you have and at the amount of meat that you have and kind of guesstimate how much you need to put in each one.
You're kidding me, right?
No, that's how I do it all the time.
I don't even... I'm supposed to just
And then
manage...
you make it come out even.
I can't just randomly guesstimate this.
Yes, you can.
Well, I mean, there's 1, 2, 3... I don't know. There's like, what, 20 here?
We're working on, we want 18.
So how about this?
A little more. They're kind of big leaves. That's good.
Okay.
So now don't just sit it in there. Kind of make it into a little ball in your
Right,
hands.
like that, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
And then I kind of do this, right?
Yeah, you roll it up once.
Okay. Once.
Till the stem hits the cabbage.
It did.
Now fold over each side.
Like a
you were
taco
wrapping
or
a present. Nice and tight.
Oh.
Tighter than that.
There's a hard part there. I don't want to break it.
Hang on. Hang on. I got to get in there. You're making me crazy. So you want to tuck it in like it's a... Here, you hold the camera.
Like this. Like this.
Yeah, like it's a present.
Yeah, okay. And tuck it in like that. Just kind of... right in there like that. But then this isn't down anymore.
Yeah.
Like this?
Hold this. I got to show you the right way once. Don't film me. Get on there. Up higher. So you want to open up the leaf. This touches the cabbage. This gets tucked in and folded over. Tucked in and folded over.
It is like a present.
And then you want to roll it really, really, really tightly. See how that's nice? That way when it sits on its little end, it doesn't come unrolled.
I think I could do that. Let's just give it a shot. Give it a shot. Here, take the camera.
And there we go. Now you put it in the pan.
If you haven't figured it out, we rearranged the table a little bit to make this easier. Okay.
And fit them in the pan. And
I'm gonna
now,
take this. I'm gonna take the rip one you don't want me to use. I bet you I can still make it all come together. Hold on. I don't want to waste it. I feel terrible that I would.
well, it won't go to waste even if it doesn't make
So that's
a
about
good
the same,
roll.
right?
Yeah.
But make it like a ball.
Make it like a ball. Put it in that little thing. Roll the stem until it touches the leaf again. And then like I should...
Then fold it
Real
over,
tight
real
over to the meat.
like that.
Yeah.
And like this, but pretend that that's connected.
Yep.
And then just
Real
kind of
snug.
like making sushi.
Yeah. You pretend you're making sushi. Dun dun dun!
Boom. Okay.
And put him in the pan. And now we have 88 more to go.
Okay.
So we've been diligently rolling. We filled one casserole with 8. And we filled another casserole with 8. And plus just a little all cabbage space holder. It's nice if they're snug in the pan. Helps them cook evenly. So we're going to show you how we made that space holder.
Okay. So that's one of two scenarios. One is you have too much cabbage, and then you put one on the side of the other, and you fill up the space. The other scenario is if you have too much meat, in which case your wife makes you unroll them and add more to a bunch of them so that you all come out using every bit of it.
Got to come out even.
I just don't want to have to deal with that. So I'm glad we ended up with this situation.
Yep.
How about that, huh? Boom, boom.
Plus, a lot of us like the extra cabbage, and it cooks all delicious.
You are welcome to the extra cabbage.
In the pan.
Okay.
Now what we're going to do is these are the leaves that were too small and wrinkled.
We turn them into hats.
Kind of.
You freeze them on a hot day?
No, we need them for the pans.
Oh, we're covering them. That's right. That's right.
This is Polish aluminum foil. We don't want the gołąbki to burn when we roast them. So we're going to very carefully cover the gołąbki with those two small leaves. See how he uses the stem to kind of tuck them in the corners so it's all pretty? Now you may need to tear them up a bit or break them to make them fit. Feel free to break. Yeah, there you go. That'll make it stretch out some. And if you only need a part of a leaf to be able to cover it up, because we have to fit it between these two dishes.
We need a few, yeah. So wait, but there's a bunch in here. There's a bunch.
Okay,
so we're good. We're good.
Or we can go back to the brain if we need a few more to tuck them in.
Oh, the brain again. You and the brain.
The brain.
Okay, how about that?
That's beautiful.
Boom. All right, let's do this one.
Now we're going to do it to this one.
Okay.
Swap them out and tuck them in. Now you'll see when we roast these that these outer leaves are going to get all brown and dark and kind of burnt looking. But that's good. The darkness is going to add flavor to the broth.
Embrace the darkness.
Yeah, whatever. And then we can enjoy the extra flavor that the cabbage brings. Tuck it in. Oh, that one last leaf ought to do you perfect.
Boom. There it is.
Corner.
Huh?
And there we go.
Get in there. Come on.
They're all tucked in and ready to go in the oven.
So this is called Polish aluminum foil.
That's what I call it.
Why not? Okay, so we did a lot of work last night. Finished rolling up these little guys. And we didn't cook them because this is for today's meal. So that was done yesterday. They were put in the fridge. Now we're bringing them out. Here we go. And now there's two things that can happen from here. If you're from my part of Poland, whatever that happened to be, from where my family came from and where my wife's family came from, we use stock to pour in and juice that all up.
Mom always used chicken stock.
Chicken stock. Okay, so
this is not chicken stock.
And apparently, there's some Italian part of Poland where people like to use red sauce. That's like the other style of Polish cuisine, where they put red sauce on things, and that's kind of considered sacrilege to us. But that's your choice. So now we're going to drop the. We're going to.
Can't do that.
I know. We're going to insert the stock.
You just have to uncover one corner.
Just one corner, just kind of like that. Is that good enough? Okay, well here. Now this is homemade preserved stock or canned stock that my wife made. Turkey stock. Okay, fine.
It will not taste like turkey in the finished
I don't need to shake it. I just put the whole thing in.
You're gonna move a cabbage leaf, or it's gonna run all over.
Okay. Okay.
Yep.
We good?
Yep.
All right. Yeah.
Pause. See how it went down?
Oh yeah. I have to wait for it to.
Yeah.
Okay.
Do it again.
Did you kind of squish it or something? Or?
No. Okay. Pause.
Okay, it's going down. That's pretty fast. It's getting in there. Capillary action.
That's probably good. That's good.
Oh, you sure?
Yes. It's going to be too full. It's going to burn in the oven.
Okay, but it's not too full now. It's good.
Because it'll move over some.
Okay.
Now we can put some more in the other one.
Okay, I think whoops, this is the wrong lid. All right. I can just, I don't know, there's like a hole there. Should I just put it in there?
Sure.
And it's getting everywhere. Notice that. Whoa, okay, let us go. Hold on.
If we were going to cook these the same day, we'd put the stock in before we tucked them in their little cabbage blankies.
Really?
Yeah.
And then you just soak them in there?
Mm-hmm.
It just seems easier this way.
You can try a different corner.
I think. Oh, yeah, there really isn't any over there. That much or put more?
Oh, we don't want it to slosh around in the oven. That's
okay.
So check one more corner, make sure that it's
I'm gonna check
over here. See how it looks?
Yeah, we're good.
We're good. So check that other.
We're good. I'll check the other corner there.
See how it's going?
Oh, yeah. Yeah, it's up to there.
We're good?
Maybe a 10. No, that's good. That's good.
We can always add more.
All right.
Okay, so now...
To the oven!
To the oven.
No, let me open it first. It's preheating to what?
About 375 for our oven.
Okay.
Kind of doesn't matter.
Doesn't matter? What do you mean it doesn't matter?
They'll cook eventually.
So they don't have to be done in a certain... It's not like you have to do it quickly or slowly.
If you wanted to cook another dish that you absolutely had to cook at 350, you can cook these at 350. It'll take a little longer.
So to get the food selfie, should I stick the camera on the other side, so looking at it from the inside of the oven?
I'm turning this off now.
Okay, fine. So how do we know it's done?
When it's done.
What does that mean?
When it's hot through and the top cabbage is brown and the meat is cooked.
I don't even know what time you put it in. Does it matter?
Well, you gotta watch and not leave it.
I can't watch. The bulb doesn't even work. What am I? Remember when we couldn't replace the bulb the other day? So do I stick my face in there and?
Well, you'll take them out and look at them. And if the meat's done through, and
okay,
the cabbage is done. We put them in at 375. If you put them in at 350, it'll take longer. If you put them in at 400, they'll cook faster.
Yeah, but that doesn't help me as person putting them in. I don't know what the.
Well, you have to pay attention to what there isn't one. It's done when it's done.
Okay, so if you put it in around 400 degrees.
Well, it's not at 400. It's 375. So we're going to poke them at 5. It's 3:45. We'll poke them at 5.
Oh, so we're talking hours. It's not like 20 minutes or something.
Right.
Oh,
yeah.
So it's like an hour or two.
Yeah.
Oh,
they're in there for a long time. You want the cabbage to get tender and the meat to cook through.
So at 375, if we have to use that number, 375, you start looking at it like in an hour?
Yeah, I'd poke it in an hour and see what it looks like.
Okay, see, that's usable information right there.
And we might need to add more stock as it cooks away and the rice sucks some up. We might have to add more.
So it's cooking in the stock?
Yes.
And when you cook it in, heaven forbid, tomato paste or whatever.
Same thing. You might need to add water.
And it would actually reduce.
Yes.
And then you would see that.
Right.
Okay.
We'll poke it and then we'll see.
Okay. I guess that's what we'll do.
Okay.
All right.
Don't burn yourself.
They're getting brown. Is that good?
That's good. Why don't we bring them out and check them?
Okay, hold on. Whew. Getting a suntan here already.
Well, you're going to have to take the oven door all the way down.
Where's the thing that pulls this out?
Use the pot holder.
Okay, fine.
We only got to bring one out to test.
Okay, where did I put it? There's no room.
Well, you take this thing and you put it on the table.
Okay, all right. I'll just check it on here. I'll just check it right here.
You can do that too.
Okay. Small one first.
Sure.
Ooh, it's warm.
Okay, open it away from you. There you go. Oh, look how nice that is.
It doesn't need to be refilled either.
No, lots of nice juice. Peel back the cabbage with that fork. Let's take a look at them.
Okay.
See how that... See how that outer cabbage protected the little rolls?
Yes. Oh, that was the point. That's the point of it. It's to protect the rolls from getting burnt.
All burnt up, yep.
But, okay, how do we know that they're getting ready?
You want to stab the rib. And if it's tender, they're done. They're looking good. That look pretty tender.
Yeah, they're not real hard.
Not real hard, so we're gonna pop them back in the oven. They're gonna cook a little longer.
Okay.
We're gonna throw some potatoes in to bake.
Should we just assume that the other one is about the same?
Yepper.
Okay. All right.
Don't put the oven all the way down so you don't burn yourself.
Oh, I thought we had a little thing that you could.
It never really worked.
Okay, fine. Okay. Okay, so we took them out. You took them out.
Yep.
So that was like a half hour after we checked, wasn't it?
Yep.
So is it one of these things where it's very forgiving, where you can have it in for a really long time, it's not going to hurt them?
Yep, as long as you add more broth if you have to.
Oh, so as long as they don't get dry, they don't burn.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so we're good.
Mm-hmm.
So this is in for what, like 2 hours?
Yeah, a little under.
A little under 2 hours. Okay, so basically that's what they should look like.
Yes.
Well, underneath that, obviously. Oh, I should get tongs or something.
Well, we can do that when we get our potatoes out.
Okay, so potatoes. Did you make potatoes?
I just threw potatoes in the oven.
Oh, okay. So we're going to be having baked potatoes.
Yes.
Okay, that sounds like a plan. Okay, so this is the right utensil to use for this.
Yeah, you want some of the juice.
Okay. So they are done. Ooh. You want one? One each? Little one, big one?
Whatever's next.
I'll give you a big one.
Oh boy.
Okay. Here we go. Start with one?
Yeah.
Okay. Now, two things. One, we didn't show you the potatoes, how to do the potatoes. We actually like to put them right on the rack. We don't do tinfoil stuff. But that's not about this. Because this is about Gołombki, not about meal preparation. If it was about meal preparation, we would have done some of these things together. And at the same time to save time and all that other multitasking, which I'm not capable of, which is another reason we're not doing that. Lastly, my preferred tool is a serrated knife because these can be kind of difficult to cut through and so forth. This is not a Gołombki. This is a Gołombek. Those are Gołombki. Singular, plural. Gołombki, Gołombek. Just like the Christmas
You said
wafer.
it backwards.
Oh, sorry. Gołombek, Gołombki. Just like the Christmas wafer is a Płatek, and a bunch of them are Płatki. This is Gołombek, Gołombki.
We got to cut it.
All right, fine. Okay. So, just gonna... Yeah, there we go. Otherwise, it's gonna make a big mess if we just mush down on them. Look at that. That's happy right there. That's happy.
Quit cutting.
No, I'm not gonna quit cutting. Because I want it to cool off. Because I can't eat it. Because it's way too hot. But, in a few moments, you will see me consume this, and then we'll give a determination of whether or not I poisoned myself. And now that it's not too bleeping hot, you see what I did there? I said bleep so I don't have to worry about editing it later. Isn't that great? Okay, that should be a thing. So this is ready. The moment of truth. Try to get a little bit of both here. That's what I'm talking about. Mission accomplished right here. This is good times. So like I said, I don't even like cabbage, but when you put it with this, oh, this is good times right here. Well, I'm glad. I hope you enjoyed this expose on how to try to cook something with close supervision, of course. And this is Gołombki.